Okay, so a pretty uneventful morning. Even so, Nick made the strong effort. He got up at, when did you get up? 8?
Yeah, about
Which
8.
doesn't sound that bad, but
No,
trust me,
earlier
when
than
you're
that,
here,
actually. 7:30.
7:30. That is tough. I was up until 4 once again, so I didn't get up until 10:40. Ran downstairs, grabbed the final 20 minutes of breakfast, and here I am drinking tea with Uzbekistan behind me. But Nick managed to get some stuff. It wasn't huge, but there were still a few big lifts. I mean, Team Iran was there. They were in that far side, which you really can't get. I think Nick did manage a 200 kilo clean and jerk. I'm yet to identify the lifter because I haven't seen the footage. Could have been Reza Dadar, could have been Amir Hokugi, if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not so sure. Team Armenia came in, and I said to Nick, to be honest, it's worth just filming them because Simone hasn't had, he's not had a day that you would consider light. Like, the lightest he's gone is kind of like 80-ish%. So he hang snatched 160, which to be fair is actually more like 75% because he's done a 210 hang snatch, which is like the most ridiculous lift in world of weightlifting right now. But 160 hang snatch, 200 kilo power clean and jerk. The supers, Gore and Verazdat Lalian, went up to 200?
Yeah, 200 clean jerks, I think.
200 clean jerks. Anything else? Any other countries in the training hall? It's so hard to remember back, honestly. Guys, this is one of the things that I've found. Maybe it's sleep deprivation. Maybe it's just the fact that we're seeing 6 sessions every day, training hall sessions. At the end of the day, when I'm trying to remember who I've seen so I can record, I genuinely find it almost impossible sometimes. I have to go back to my phone and flick through and just be like, oh, it's those people. I'm guessing you're not picking up on anything.
No, it blurs into one really, doesn't it?
Yeah. So,
JP was there as Team Belgium, and then
JP Millet.
A few Kazakh lifters came in, but then didn't seem to see anything from them, so I'm not sure where they went.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Antropov and Adatuli Nagisa from Kazakhstan. Apparently, Karlos Nasar is turning up today, but he competes tomorrow, so there's going to be no training hall footage of him. We asked the Bulgarians what kind of shape he was in. They said strong. We were like, strong? And they were like, very strong. So, Karlos Nasar is going to win the 81s. Let's be real. With the Chinese not there and all that sort of stuff. And with Ehab not looking great, pretty sure he's going to win. So, we're going to grab some food now, and then head in for hopefully some more eventful stuff. Oh, and it's Kuo later. Kuo's lifting. I don't think she's going to set world records, but she'll win.
Pan out to you looking in at this.
So that was one of the first times we were able to actually film the Colombians, which was nice. Brandon Legas at 81, he was in just going light because, he competes tomorrow. But Lesman was in the 96. He worked up to 205 kilos in the clean and jerk, which is, high 90% really, 95-ish% for him. So that was a pretty good lift. We also had Keydomar who's still getting wrapped up behind me. He never takes a light day, seriously. I mean, he snatched 165 for a few singles, power cleaned 190, back squat double 260. I think it's because he's so physically strong. Him working up to a 95% snatch takes very little out of his body because he's working at such a low percentage of his 1 RM squat. And then you got other lifters who they're working at such a high percentage, they can't do that too often because a heavy clean and jerk for them is almost like a heavy front squat, but for him, heavy clean and jerk is like a 70% front squat. So he can just keep going. So final session of the day was actually really interesting because we saw a lot of the people that we either didn't think we were going to see or we just hadn't seen yet. So the Russians turned up. So with the Russians was Artem Okulov, 2015 world champ, who is obviously, as we all know, one of the best movers technically in the sport. He went up to, I think it was a 130 snatch, 150 clean and jerk, a few back squats of 180. It wasn't anything special. I mean, first day here, he's not really going to push it too hard. I think most interesting with the Bulgarians, we saw Karlos Nasar, who I'm adamant he's going to win the gold medal. How long he holds on to that gold medal for, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's going to win. Just the numbers he's hit in training, the Bulgarian coaches said he looked strong. He did 120 snatch, 150 cleans, and that was it. Valentin Hristov, his teammate, the 1 and 9, genuine dark horse for maybe our medal, but we forget about him. We talk about the other 3 109s. put him in the mix, honestly. Lasha was back squatted up to 285, Players Noi, none of them really did a huge amount. Bodu's there, little 160 clean and jerk. I think that's about everything. I just ran up to the 59s, looked like an interesting session, so we'll get onto that. Also, the stall over there, which Nick can show you again. So they were the ones selling the Weightlifting House stuff. Obviously I had words with them, took some other stuff from them, and then they're not selling our stuff anymore, which is good. Also we're absolutely buzzing for this, World's Tracky Bottoms and sweatshirt, which is actually pretty sick. So we got a few of these, going to bring them back to everyone who works at Weightlifting House, and yeah, make sure that we all stay kitted out. Anyway, over to the 59s. So this is a secret session that I didn't tell you guys about yesterday because there were too many amazing things that happened yesterday and I couldn't fit it all into one session. But there was one other huge session that went down. Arguably my favorite session. I've seen Lasha lift so heavy so many times. I've never seen Akbar Djuraev or Ruslan Nurudinov, the two Uzbek Olympic champions 2016-2020, really lift heavy before. In fact, I'd never really seen Nurudinov lifting at all, in person at least. And yesterday it happened. Now I will say, if you follow me, my personal Instagram, you will have seen a lot of this because I post a lot of behind the scenes stuff on my Instagram story. Also, if you follow Weightlifting House, I put a couple of sort of teasers about this session on there. But basically I kept this one hidden for today. So right in the far corner where they train, we haven't been able to get any access to until recently. We were being told constantly, you can't go over there and film. Eventually we kept complaining, we worked our way up, the whole way up the IWF ladder until we reached basically the top, and we got them to put in writing that we could go into that spot to film these guys. And so they turned up yesterday at the same time as the men's 73s, and we thought, screw it, we're going to stick with them because, well, Ruslan Nurudinov has amazing English. Like, in fact, he sounds really sort of like upper class. It's really interesting. He's got like a very posh accent, but he speaks really well. And he said that they were going to go heavy and that he felt really good. And so they both snatched back and forth, and they have this great relationship. This it's not like a fatherly-son relationship. That's not a good way of putting it, but it's certainly the master and the whatever you know. There's a phrase for that, I'm sure. The master and the something. I can't even think. But it definitely comes across that Ruslan Nurudinov is the one who's got all the experience. He offers his experience. He lends opinions to Akbar Djuraev constantly. After Akbar hits lifts, Ruslan will give him some advice. It will just be, you know, shoulders back. It'll be push the knees out. It'll be elbows up higher. And he's constantly doing that. That sort of passing of information is one way. It never goes back the other way. And Akbar's very happy with it. The other interesting thing is that Ruslan Nurudinov is the epitome of the extroverted weightlifter. He's like Ilya Ilyin. Before he lifts, he yells in like a happy, funny way. He laughs a lot. He dances. Akbar Djuraev is the epitome of the introverted weightlifter. And you do get that dichotomy in weightlifting. You get the person who puts it all out there and is out there all the time. Then you get the person who's just in their own head. You know, Akbar Djuraev walks around, he almost looks a bit moody, a bit like Artem Okulov, in actual fact. Lasha also introverted. Rezi Davitadze, on the other hand, more extroverted. So you kind of see this in weightlifting a little bit. But it was great to watch them. They went back and forth. They're very much, you know, well, they're literally on the same team, but mentally they're on the same team despite really being competitors. So they snatched up to, I think they were doing, well, they were working up in doubles, 160, 170, then they were doing singles at 180, and then they both hit 185. I thought they were going to go up, but they didn't. I think that's an opener. I think what they were doing was openers, but the openers are so heavy. So 185 snatches, 15 kilos under the world record, and then they moved on to the clean and jerk, and they worked up, you know, 120, 160, 190, 210, 220, and again, I imagine 220 is an opener. It's interesting because about an hour and a half prior, we saw Simone Martirosyan also hit 220, and that was in yesterday's video. You can go back and watch that. We basically just saw him stand up the clean and hit the jerk. He was in an awkward position.
But I'm going to say it right now. Akbar Djuraev is winning. I'm pretty sure. Simone is great. He always goes heavy-ish. Like, I mean, even today, this morning, he hang snatched 160, power clean jerk 200. That's the lightest he's gone. He's jerked 240. You know, it's not like he hasn't done heavy things. He's snatched 180. But the way Simone snatches 180, and his kind of inconsistency in the wide grip, if you can, there's a wall in the way, that he's more wobbly. He doesn't look quite as good. Akbar Djuraev looks stronger than we've ever seen it. Like, stronger than at the Olympics almost. Nurudinov also looks great. But here's the thing. If one of them misses a lift, God forbid, if one of them misses 2 lifts out of the 3, they're coming third. That's how it's going to be. That's what it's going to come down to. Whichever of those 3 goes 6 or 6 is going to be the world champion. Whoever goes 5 or 6 is going to be the silver medalist, and whoever goes 4 or 6 is going to be the bronze medalist. And then there's going to be a large gap, and there's going to be someone else. Maybe my boy Ian Wilson, you never know. I think he turns up today, so I'm excited to see him. But anyway, amazing session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And because I'm recording this out of order, I don't know what's next. So I'll see you soon.
No blue.